humans constructed a monster. You know, it's like the nuclear weapon didn't choose to be invented. We did that.
Yeah.
I bet the nuclear weapon feels sad.
Hey, I'm Chris Reinacher, and welcome to Getting Bombed, the show where I get drunk with smart people and talk about the end of the world. I've gathered some nuclear experts in my friend Jeff's doomsday bunker. Hey, Jeff. As Jeff feeds them drinks,
Cheers.
and I ask them the hard questions. What is a nuclear bomb on the scientific level?
Those are live nuclear weapons
Mutually assured destruction.
to kill everything.
Oh, it's scary. Today joining me is Jim Walsh, a senior research associate at the MIT Security Studies program. And you're gonna talk to me about the end of the world.
Sure, well, maybe.
Maybe, the potential end of the world.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll start with just a couple basic questions to get us going. Like, if I'm a 5-year-old, what are nuclear weapons? How do they work?
So a nuclear bomb is unlike anything ever invented. You know, humans have fought wars and used all sorts of bombs. TNT, those are all bombs based on chemical compositions. Terrific.
Yeah, this is Jeff. Thanks,
Thanks, Jeff.
bud.
Thank you, cheers, yes.
Yeah, cheers.
I am like,
What he does.
I'm totally. Oh yeah,
How is it?
I would say it's potent.
Hey, Jeff, that was a good one, dude. One of the best.
So a nuclear weapon changes the structure of an atom. You know, atoms and molecules, the smallest units of stuff.
Yeah.
And you split the atom.
And that just creates an explosion?
A tremendous amount of energy is released.
Wow.
You can't just split any atom. There are two and
Always.
only two that are really the basis for building a nuclear weapon: uranium and plutonium. The hardest part of making a bomb is getting uranium or plutonium in a form that you can use for a nuclear weapon. You've probably heard about centrifuges. Well, that's like a salad spinner, and it takes the really great part of uranium, the part you want to make the nuclear weapon, and it separates it from the.
You gotta salad spin that
You
stuff.
gotta be able to build the stuff that produces the juice.
Again, I'm a 5-year-old. How did we get here? Like, how did we do this whole damn thing?
Yeah, it's a really great story. This is the story of the human race in some ways, and then the ending hasn't kicked in yet. And so I think of it as, I don't know, 5 or 6 chapters. So the first is original sin.
So this is the Garden of Eden.
Yes. When humans came to roam the earth and shared it with creatures of various kinds, the thing that determined their fate was nature. Now, they might kill each other, or a volcano would extinguish life on an island. It was nature that defined who lived, who died, and when. But beginning in the summer of 1945, human beings acquired a technology that changes the relationship between humans and nature. I mean, what comes to mind is Frankenstein. Humans constructed a monster, or something that was seen as a monster.
I like your editorializing of Frankenstein.
Because I feel bad for
Listen,
Frankenstein.
The doctor or Frankenstein the monster?
The monster, I feel bad for the monster. You know, it's like the nuclear weapon didn't choose to be invented. We did that.
Yeah,
I bet the nuclear weapon feels sad.
and now we can't go back.
And he can't go back. But in any case, once we invented this thing now, it's not only that we can kill each other, that's one thing, but all the puppies and all the kittens, anything that's cute on Instagram, that's all gone. So that's original sin.
What year?
1945. Humans use nuclear weapons against other human beings in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And we didn't stop there. We built more and more and more. Building 70,000 nuclear weapons, 500 atomic nuclear tests, on, and then comes struggle. That radioactivity is falling all around, but it's showing up in baby's milk. It looks like we're gonna fight a nuclear war. We have a Berlin crisis, we have a Cuban Missile Crisis, we have all sorts of things that are happening. But that period of struggle is followed by a period of success. There are two great periods in atomic history where average citizens from around the globe took to the streets to say, no, you can't do this. So the first period I date basically from 1958, I'd say, to 1962, and one in the mid-1980s.
Oh, hey, what's up, Jeff? He always moves
Oh my
fast
God,
at the very
Lord
beginning.
have mercy.
He usually makes us take bombs at the very beginning. He thought it would be cute for the show.
So this is the stuff of nuclear destruction right here. I don't know what he's brewing back there, but
Yeah, mine is pretty good. I like this.
yeah, I do think you're getting drunker though.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and then we have pushback. And, then
And we
when
push
you-
back and we
When you
pass.
say success, are you
Yes.
viewing it from the government's perspective or the pushback perspective?
Outcomes, baby. I'm all about the outcomes. And so testing went down. There were no more above ground tests.
Success means that the people had their voice heard.
Exactly. And so you have the Partial Test Ban Treaty, which is a direct response to citizen protest in that period. And so the tests are forced underground, no more testing above ground, polluting people. And then you get the Comprehensive Test Ban Treaty, which for all the members of that treaty bans nuclear testing. So that's a tremendous success. The numbers go down dramatically. Now there's still 10,000, but to go from 70,000
Yeah.
to 10,000, pretty good. That didn't happen by accident. That happened because what happened in the 50s and again in the 80s when Ronald Reagan threatened to build a whole new fleet of nuclear missiles to put in Europe. The Europeans, the Americans, they pushed back and said no.
The people pushed back, and that's why we got to this next section.
Yes, exactly.
It's super important.
Which brings us to amnesia.
Okay. This
Because
is section 4?
I don't know. The drinking and the counting is not good. And
now we're at
on
amnesia. Step
So,
4.
you know, success is a funny thing. Everyone, myself included, could not have been happier the day the Cold War ended. It was like being under 40 years of constant threat of annihilation and destruction, and you're let out into recess, and you don't have to deal with that anymore. Except there were still 10,000 weapons left to deal with.
Yeah.
But then the amnesia comes. So in the 1980s, when you did polling, 2 out of 3 Americans thought it was the most dangerous thing that we faced. Right now, Gallup has a list of 44 issues that are asked about.
Yeah.
Nuclear does not make the list.
It's because we're so concerned with so many other topics that we find relatable.
But there's good news.
Yeah. Is there a step 5?
Yes. The 5th chapter is re-engagement, or what I like to call reawakening.
But we don't care about the fact that we have so many nuclear.
No one really focuses on that until October 2016. If you look at the Google Trends data, the search term nuclear war from 2004 to 2019, it's nothing, jump.
Why?
Why? That was the presidential debate between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. So these things happen once every generation. This is a moment where people are being reminded about this again.
When you were talking about the age of struggle and the fact that people spoke up against it, and it dramatically reduced the amount of arms we were producing.
You know, it's unbelievable. I mean, I call it the biggest public policy success of the 20th century.
And also,
No one
I don't think
predicted
people
it.
know about it.
No, they do not. It is a particular pathology of the post-Cold War period that people have told themselves that they can't do anything about it. They did it twice before. Yes, you can do something about it.
Becoming part of the conversation
Yes.
actually has historically made a difference.
Absolutely. And
That's exciting to me as a
Yes.
person of the internet,
And-
because oftentimes we're just tweeting about that. I don't know. Is this activism? Probably not. I'm just tweeting. And I'm going to say that this is my most inspiring talk out of all of them I've had down here in the bunker, because you've made me realize history shows that we can make a change.
Exactly.
Well, thank you for joining me so much.
Thank you.
Jim Walsh, it's been a pleasure talking to you.
My pleasure as well.
I'm Chris Reinacher. This is Getting Bombed. We'll see you next time. Between now and the end of the world.
To hear my entire conversation with Jim Walsh, check out the Getting Bombed podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your premium podcasting content. Learn more about what you can do to prevent nuclear war at beyondthebomb.org. Blow this conversation up so we don't all, get blown up.